Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here, Blue Ridge. Happy August, August 1st. Hope everyone's doing well. We are in month 8 of the year. Okay, we got 5 months left till we're all done of 2025, and then the event that I think we've all been waiting for, 2026, is going to be a milestone for sure. But with milestones like the 250th anniversary of our country, we can't remiss talking about the 200th anniversary. The Bicentennial year of 1976 is the last time that we celebrated anything this important. So I figure with a few months remaining in 2025, we're going to be doing little kind of like mini updates of what we're seeing movement wise of the bicentennial coins. Here's what I feel like might happen. I think, we're not gonna sugarcoat this. The Mint produced a ton of bicentennial coins in all different fashions, from the regular business strike coins, the P's and D's of the quarter, half dollar, and Ike dollar, but also the proof clads, the proof silver 40%, and the uncirculated 3-coin sets. They're actually out there in pretty great quantities, so they're not particularly hard to find. If you're trying to find them, good news is they're still relatively affordable, especially the clad sets and the proof clad sets. You can still get those for under $10 pretty easy. Also keeping in mind that they release a set in not only 75 but 76. So that is the big reason why we don't have any quarter, half dollar, or dollar coin dated 1975, is that the Mint had just done all the work over the course of 24 months to ensure that the bicentennial coin was going to release and it was going to be talked about for a long time. And even to this day, we are in 2025, and people are still talking about this coin. So that's how popular it is. And that's kind of the big catalyst as to why I want to do a quick little market update on all of the various forms of coins. Just really diving in. eBay specifically, we're going to look at, I would say, the last like 24, 48 hours. So that way it's more up to date. What are individual raw coins going for? Are there rolls being sold right now? You want to know that. And the reason why we're doing this is I want you guys to identify if and only if if the juice is worth the squeeze, right? If you're going to be pulling all of the bicentennial quarters out of your quarter roll hunts, is it going to be worth selling full rolls of them on the secondary market? Because if you're putting all this work in and you could muster barely over face value, obviously it's probably not a feasible thing to do if you're trying to make a few bucks in the process. Collectability wise, these things are going to be collected till the end of time. The upcoming 2026 coins are all going to have featured dual dates. So they're going to say 1776 to 2026, which is a huge featurette aesthetically that people love on the coins, especially the bicentennial, where it had the dual dates. All right. So we're going to take a look, first and foremost, anything on eBay within the last, I would say, day or two. And what I did was we're going to check out the quarter, half dollar, and the Eisenhower dollars. Okay, so we're going to see all three. Just take a quick glance, see if there's anything notable. We had a seller here sell 2 different lots, 6 rolls, $60 face value in bicentennial coins. They actually had 6 full rolls of P-Mint quarters for $60 face that they ended up with shipping selling for $80 or $91.24 with a pair of bids. As far as selling these and trying to make money here, there's not a lot to be made, especially if you're selling circulated coins as opposed to BU rolls of these things. I find that BU rolls of quarters, tend to fall in like that, I don't know, $60 to $80 range for a single $10 face roll of BU, whether it's 76 Philly or 76 Denver. So the same seller had 6 rolls of Denvers. Guess what? Selling for the same exact amount of money. Profit-wise, this person probably made about $15, after fees and shipping and all that stuff. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's, it's something. It's a few bucks in the kitty right there. Here's a mix of 30, so $7.50. Face value of assorted, circulated Denver and Phillies. So altogether, $19.02. A singular BU coin, possibly out of the mint packaging, $6 or so. So I find those are $5 or $6. Pretty good value there. But, 5 years ago, you could get a BU coin for under $1. So, times are changing right now. I think it's just the semi-quincentennial kind of like push-pull effect of what's going on here. There's been a few graded coins. There's a trio of ICG coins of the 40% silver, it looks like. A silver set, and these are uncirculated, so one of those did sell. People are selling plated novelty quarters. It's not worth buying into because they are considered altered or damaged. Here's a $10 face lot of assorted P&Ds for $24.36. So that's over double face there. Singular clad proofs, $4.59. There is another clad. Keep in mind, it's clad. It's not silver. So that's quite interesting. Silver 40% actually comes in at about $3. So for a quarter, Bicentennial 40% silver quarter is right around $3. So there's definitely some adjusted premium here. Here's the 40% silver and a clad proof, $15 right there. So pretty interesting. The 40% uncirculated silvers, I've seen the most movement in the market, more sales at a much higher price. These things seem to be averaging right around $10 per coin. This particular lot right here ended at $22.45. So that's for 2 of them, by the way. Got some pretty cool like ruthenium, dual plated type stuff in there. They look neat, but again, not for me because they're altered. Here is a uncirculated roll, as expected, 1976D for $55.99. So it's pretty close to $60, like I had prophesized earlier in the video. So that's how much you would expect for a full BU roll. Now, I want to make you guys aware that the big FS101 doubled die obverse is on the Denver coin. So that might be a pretty good kind of quick search through if you buy it. But people are buying those to simply just hoard, stack into their collection the BU rolls. And not so much the circulated rolls. The circulated rolls are more to just go through to see if there was like a mint error or one of those FS101 DDOs that they're missing. There's another roll there. This one went with shipping up and over $30. Here's a trio of various dates. We're just going to skip on by that. Here's a 40 coin lot. It looks like it's all circulated, $26, free shipping. There's a proof, Mac Vanderstein. This one, 4 bids. Ended up selling for $6 with ship. There's a little artificially toned piece right there for $4. There's a graded PCGS Mid-State 68 silver for $37, okay, which is right in the wheelhouse for 68s. These things, the 40% uncirculated, are very well struck. So 68 is kind of like the grade for normalcy, as what you would expect, but anything higher than that, like 69s or the occasional 70. I mean, the top grade of the 40% silvers are very expensive. They're hundreds, if not thousands of dollars if you're trying to look for one of those. But as you can see, the market is pretty fluid. There is a fair amount of activity going around on the platform for the quarters. And it's exactly like I expected, because this is I would say this is the most popular out of the three circulating types, denomination-wise, that was released by the Mint. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at half dollars real quick. I had thought that maybe half dollars might be the least performing of the three. So we got some gradeds in there, 69, 69. One clad, one silver. So the 69s are a pretty good deal, but I think 70s are even better. You're going to pay a few $100 into them. But I think that the 70s, if you were going to be shopping today, still represents a really good deal. And if you want something special, collectible, you want the most perfect graded example, you're not going to pay too much more money for them. This is a pretty neat capital holder with all of the 40% proofs at the beginning of the Candy Half series. So that's also including the Bicentennial in there. $10 for the 40% proof Kennedy right there. A couple more graded lots. 74D, I don't know what that's doing in the search. There's another Mid-State 66, 40% silver uncirculated for $29.41. Some more graded pieces. Here is a lot of 50. That's $20 face value of assorted circulated coins, it looks like. They didn't specify BU. But $42, 2 times face value on that one there. Singular coins, a buck or two. Unless they're like really nice BU condition, like this one here ended up selling for $6. It is a P&D set. So you're getting 2 coins, and they're kind of graded at that choice gem level, which is kind of a normal grade state for these. Here's a couple more uncirculated silver 40%ers. Again, the uncirculated 40%ers, again, really performing as well as you would expect. If you're able to get the 3 coin sets at your local coin shop for $20 or less, I'm happy to say that you could virtually take those sets, part them out, resell them, and probably 2x your money on every set. The Eisenhower especially is doing really well. I think those are selling by themselves for $20. So as you can see, nice volume for the half dollar, which I thought would be the least popular of the 3 coins. Here's a 40% silver proof for $28.49. Keeping in mind that you could buy the 3 coin silver proof set of Bicentennials for right around $20. So the fact that one coin out of the group selling for $28, not only did it make its money back for the 3 coin set, but also additional amount, to take care of shipping. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up profiting selling all 3 coins on the secondary market. That's kind of like, this is all in preparation to 2026, because I will tell you, about a year or two ago, the market was never this fluid, nor were prices this high. So we are definitely seeing some kind of like reactive market changes here. Prices are higher for these coins. Anytime you're at like 2x melt for the 40% proof or uncirculated, I mean that's a tale that proves everything is getting kind of crazy. Now, I will say, by the time we hit January of 2026, I think the desirability for 1976 stuff will probably end up flattening out and maybe declining ever so slightly. And that's understandable because people have they put the brakes on these and then they're focusing on 2026. Because I think it's, from the U.S. Mint's perspective, it's going to be a product-rich kind of year to help kind of take advantage of what we have going on here, with the 250th anniversary. So again, just to let you guys know, there is actually a clad BU Brilliant Uncirculated for $15. So yeah, I think now I've seen everything, but you can see prices are all over the board. I would say, if you're going to be selling circulated Bicentennial halves, I would say roll them up $10 each, sell them for $25 a roll, and profit $10 a piece. Somewhere around there. It's probably more like $8. You're going to see $8 in profit for a full circulated roll of Bicentennials. And then the final one, so the Eisenhower silver dollar here. The most expensive the group, and the big reason why is for the clad circulation strike coins. You have a type 1 and a type 2, and that kind of skews the numbers tremendously here for these. But here you go. Circulated Ikes are kind of dogs right now. It doesn't matter what date. People don't want circulated Ikes. They want BU Ikes and better, for sure. Here's $15 face of assorted dates from 71 to 76. And it's $35, somewhere thereabouts. Here's a quartet that were cut out of mid-sets for $26 shipped. So, it's including Type 1 and Type 2 coins. The 1976 Philly Type 1 with the block letters reverse is the big dog out of the four. But very rarely do you see those in like high enough grade where it's a warrant like just this massive rocket ship market premium on them, which are going to be like $5,000 to $10,000 for a mid-state 67. The 76D Type 1, however, is still a very, very findable coin because they are much better looking coming out of like mid-sets and things like that compared to, the 76 Philly. But you can see that BU coins, of course, they're trading for as much as the quarter and a $half, surprisingly. All right, so when I click on this coin right here, we have to look at the back, and it's the Type 2 reverse. So folks are probably going to pay a much higher premium on raw uncirculated Type 1s rather than the Type 2 reverse coins. Let's see if we can find one somewhere in here that's an uncirculated Type 1. There's a graded Type 2 in mid-state 65. That's the skinnier letters, so that doesn't quite apply here. And you'll know when you come up to it because the price is going to be so much higher. And also keep in mind the 40% silver proofs have the Type 1 reverse. So the uncirculated 40% and the proof have the thicker, chunkier block letters, whereas the clad ones are supposed to have the skinnier letters, but on both the clad proof and clad uncirculateds, you can find the Type 1 reverse on both of them. On the proof, they're not as rare. They're kind of like 50-50 on those. I don't know what this one is. I think, with a feedback of 0, there's some shenanigans going on there. There's a 3-coin set of all 3 denoms for $20 from who's at eCoins. All right. I was hoping to find an uncirculated Type 1. There it is. Well, there's one there for $6.95. 76D is what that one is. There's one for $13.25. Yeah, the Type 2 are not as valuable. They kind of grow on trees. There's another 0 feedback shenanigans there. But there you go. Eisenhower is not as robust for now. On the singular raw coins, there's a lot of these out there. I think people are trying to push and promote these as being something special above and beyond what they actually are because of their sheer size, and that it reminds people of like Morgan and Peace Dollar era of the size of the dollars. Even though design wise and composition, it doesn't even hold a stick to those earlier coins. So quick little look at some of the premier, I would say premier auction house sales bicentennials on great collections. So we're going to start out with a quarter. These are all within, I would say, the last 30 to 60 days is what we're going to look at. Proof 69 clads, very affordable. You want one, you can pick one up for under $20. There is this Mid-State 66 toner for $2.25. If you wanted a non-toned 66 in a PCGS holder, you could get them for right around $20 to $40. So someone paid the extra premium on the toning. Perfect Proof 70 quarters clad, $100. So again, that is a bargain right there. And then, sales are, rather good. There's one there for $90 for a 70. And then you have some of the 40 percenters mixed in here. But overall, nothing really crazy in the last 60 days. The Great Collections has been a little bit lacking on the bicentennial coins. One exception, by the way, we'll get to that here in a moment. Back in July 6, 2025, here's a Mid-State 67 Plus P-Mint toner that sold for $903. That is, by the way, not the finest grade. I believe 68 or 68 plus for the quarter is where it's at. That one's like $4 or $5 grand right there. Again, Perfect Proof 70s right now, $100 bill probably represents the best from a collector's standpoint. Like I wouldn't mind buying one clad version for $100. And if you could buy a silver one, that'll probably set you back about $150 from what I've seen. Actually, here's one right here, a Silver Proof 70 for $100. So there you go, pretty good deal there. $50. Here's what we have. $50. That's just been Mid-State 67, 40% silver, cheap, under $20. Because they're so better, well struck. There's another 68 right there, $54. It's starting to creep up. I believe Mid-State 69, it really jumps up. But proof, very affordable. Perfect 70s. Again, this is kind of where some of the deal is here on the clads. $250 if you wanted to pick up one of those. Here's a toned Mid-State 66 for $320. More clads, more lower graded unks, things like that, $20. So still very affordable for the graded pieces. If you wanted to jump on these, pick up a few. Of course, you might as well go all out and get 70s, because you'll have a better time reselling those later on in life when you decide to get out of the hobby, because it's all about, value today, more value tomorrow. And there's just something about perfect 70s that's very attractive. And then as time goes on, people are going to get even more nostalgic for the bicentennials, and they'll buy what they need. Ike Dollars, spearheaded by this gigantic sale of its 76D Type 1 reverse in Mid-State 67, $4,400 for that one there. Here's a Type 2 green toned P-Mint, and that one's $350 in Mid-State 65 with a CAC sticker. There's a Type 1 P-Mint in an NGC holder, Mid-State 66 for $550. And then there was actually because this one right here, Mid-State 67, there were actually a couple NGC graded Mid-State 67s. Voila, right there. $1,125. And I think that's the example I was seeing, just a big overall and very egregious difference between an NGC and PCGS holdered coin of the same numerical grade. Huge difference, $1,100 to $4,400. So obviously, the registry said they've spoken really loudly here about what the pricing should be, and they're putting all their eggs in one basket for the PCGS coins, whether you like them or not. And then some will buy the NGC coins that are graded really high, and then they're going to try and attempt to cross them over to PCGS. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But, the people that do that, here's another 67 in NGC plastic. Again, really showing the deficit here with NGC grades, $1,055. And that's a Type 2 reverse, by the way, which is less special, but it is a little bit toned on there. So, well, that is the bicentennial market in a vacuum there. Hopefully there's another Type 1 Denver, $1,000, almost $1,100. Hopefully this gives you a little perspective on whether or not you should hoard a certain coin or buy or spec on certain other coins or sell, certain other pieces. With the 40% silvers are the most attractive as far as raw goes, and a graded anything Proof 70. Proof 70 clad right here is six bills, so quite a bit of a amount of money there. But again, I'm telling you, it's the one to buy. The fact that you can buy all three coins in Proof 70 for under $1,000 is actually pretty good. The pops are generous, but it's a coin that is very popular and a lot of people own them. So that is going to go ahead and wrap her up for this one. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, except that one yesterday. Someone had said they didn't like the F-bombs and all that, even though I served a warning at the beginning of the video, even before it got started. So again, please pay attention, guys, because you didn't have to watch it. Because I gave you a warning. And that's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gents. Have a great day. Have fun with the hobby. Keep on collecting. And I will see you on the next coin video. So long, guys.